Tonight, the King 5 investigators expose Washington's most dangerous workplaces. The list includes companies across the state with the worst records of putting workers in harm's way.
Kristen Goodwillie reveals how the state's top offender now faces a lawsuit after a father of 12 died on the job.
Dad is dead. Those two words, dad and dead, do not belong in the same sentence. My world just shattered.
Victor Voloshin's children say as a truck driver from Pasco, he was the hardest worker they knew. He immigrated from Ukraine 30 years ago and took pride in providing for his family. His kids never thought he'd lose his life doing just that.
I still can't wrap my head around what happened that day. I almost still don't believe it.
In the days before his death, on June 7th of last year, Victor had been hauling deadly cargo. He spent his last 48 hours driving a semi-tanker with toxic emulsified sulfur for Two Rivers Terminal. According to a lawsuit filed by the Voloshin family, a dispatcher ordered Victor to clean out the truck, a hazardous job he'd never been trained to do.
I learned that he got there around 4 p.m., started cleaning out the tanker by himself.
This security footage reveals Victor's last moments. He went into the tanker's manhole, completely unprotected. No safety gear, no supervision, no emergency plan. Victor died inside the truck, overcome by toxic fumes. Firefighters and family were called to the scene, forced to watch it all play out.
And that's when they came to us and told us that my dad has passed away.
Should this have even happened in the first place?
This should have never happened.
Absolutely not.
This was 100% preventable. And then I found out that they had previous incidences with injuries, with hurting other people year after year.
It was this kind of workplace safety failure that earned Two Rivers a distinction no company wants: to be a part of the state's severe violators list. These are the companies with the most safety violations issued by Labor and Industries. The top 10 include industries like roofing, logging, and asbestos management. At the very top of this list is the company that hired Victor to drive a semi-truck, Two Rivers Terminal. It ranks as the state's most dangerous employer. Since 2022, racking up 106 violations.
How do you feel, Lily, knowing that Two Rivers Terminal has the most violations of any company in the state?
It's just devastating.
The company's violations follow a deadly pattern, from failing to provide protective equipment and proper training to ignoring confined space regulations like those that led to Victor's death. Nearly half of all citations warn how serious these violations are, that employees can be seriously injured or killed. With all of these violations, you might be wondering, why is this company still in business?
So companies have rights just like people have rights. We have the ability to make places safe, but we don't necessarily have the ability to just shut them down.
L&I can issue fines. Two Rivers owes the state more than $1 million.
So yes, they can.
Employment law expert Liz Ford says it's a question of whether the fines are making any difference.
It appears the fines are not sufficient to deter the conduct because it's not deterring the conduct.
Victor's death was not an isolated incident. Just 1 year earlier, another employee fell 12 feet after exposure to the same toxic chemicals. He suffered life-threatening injuries.
It almost felt like history was repeating itself, that this company did not correct its mistakes, that all they cared about was their business. They don't care about people coming home.
I called, emailed, and went down to Two Rivers Terminal for a comment and have not heard back. We do know the company is disputing L&I citations and is trying to move the Voloshin family's lawsuit to federal court.
In my 41 years of being a lawyer, this is the most egregious failure of safety I have seen from a corporation.
Sim Osborne represents the Voloshin family in their wrongful death lawsuit against Two Rivers. He says the company knowingly ignored critical safety warnings.
This is a case that never should have happened. If Two Rivers had followed the rules and just had the most base safety practices, Victor Voloshin would never have died.
воссовет в небеса жизни лира.
Victor was an entertainer, the rock of his large family. His children say the grief is unbearable. They worry most about their mother left without the family's sole provider. Children still live in the home without a father. 16 grandchildren will grow up without a grandfather.
Yeah, the first month after my dad passed, my mom asked me, "Can I go buy groceries? You think we have enough for groceries?" And that breaks my heart.
Дети мои.
The family had no idea Two Rivers was the worst safety violator in the state. They say the company must change to prevent another family's devastation.
We have to bury him. He's not coming back. And that's such a hard thing to accept. But I do want justice.
There are 88 companies on this list. If a business ends up on it, L&I says it's not just fines, there are more inspections and oversight to bring them to compliance. If you'd like to see all of the companies on the severe violators list, we have that on our website. Text the word WORK to 206-448-4545. We'll send it right to your phone.
So, Kristen, what else does Two Rivers do?
Well, it's a chemical distributor. It sells fertilizer to farmers, de-icer to airports, and chemicals for water treatment and paper manufacturing. Joyce.
Kristen, thanks so much. And of course, you can see a lot more from the King 5 investigators in their March Spotlight, streaming right now. Download the King 5 Plus app on your TV. You can watch for free.